Hey guys, Eric, CEO of The Swiss here. The video you're about to watch is a re-upload of a video we did with Mike on Block on the Range. Sadly, the video got a strike a while back, and it got a second strike recently for no reasons. We still don't know why the video got a strike. It's now been completely deleted and it's getting re-uploaded on my channel with a few tweaks. So we changed the video a bit, and this time hopefully the YouTube algorithm is nicer with us, so the video can stay online, because it's a very fun video. We had a lot of fun making it, and I think more people should see it. Thanks for tuning in.
For the benefit of the bots, not for sale. Hello and welcome to Bloke on the Range, and I'm here at Coudoutier in Sion, Canton Valley, Switzerland, with Eric, self-appointed CEO of the Swiss, and quite righteously so. Now, a little bit of background. I shoot a competition series where there's a pre-1970 pistol caliber carbine classic component matched to it, and almost everybody shoots either a Sterling or an Uzi. I've never shot an Uzi, and until today, had you shot a Sterling?
I got a few shots earlier, but I never, maybe 10 rounds through Sterlings, so new experience for me.
Yeah, so what we thought we'd do is have a little go on each other's gats. We've got a few drills. We can only put the targets at 25 meters here, so no really up close and personal banging. Now, they're both open bolt. They're both blocked semi, so we can shoot them without any particular permits, because Switzerland is funny about that. So no rat-a-tat-tat, no rock and roll. But I mean, the last few years, I think the last 3, possibly 4 years, I've won that match I was referring to, but this year I did it with a Stenmark 5, just for a bit of variety. But I've done a lot of stuff on the Sterling over the years on the channel. Too long didn't read. It's what I consider to be the ultimate of the angry tube guns. It's a tube with some sights on it and a thing that runs back and forward and goes bang. It's got quite a clever trigger mechanism for semi-auto, but it's not an unproblematic trigger mechanism. It's a bit on the edge. Mag is on the side as it should be, so you can get nice and close to the ground if you've got to go prone. Folding stock, and safety. What else to say? We've got a nice big aperture for 100 and a smaller one for 200. And what have you got?
So this is my semi-auto Uzi. This one is made in Belgium by FNR Stahl. Open bolt, blocked to semi, sadly. Same thing here. So this is folding stock, well known for the Uzi. You tap it, unfolds. Magazines feed into the grip, as they should be, because who shoots a submachine gun prone anyway? And
someone who doesn't have a choice and has stuff winging over their ears.
Same thing here. You have 2 aperture for 100 and 200 meters, and for me this is the ultimate angry box.
Right. So who's going first?
I'll let you go first and give the impressions.
I will shoot a few rounds through mine and then swap over to the Uzi.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Okay, so nice big. It's getting close. Nice big aperture there. Bit of a small one there. And what we do, safety catches like that. We put the mag in the side. Bolt's already back. We line it up and we go. The Sterling's very, very stable. You've got a long lock time because it's open bolt. But basically, you line the sights up, you hang on to it, and you give it a good positive trigger press. I'm going to try the trigger on this before. You've got a grip safety.
Yeah.
Ugh. Grip safety. Okay. Oh, this is a block. Ooh. Okay, that gets in your cheekbone. We've got a pinprick of a rear sight. I mean, I guess if it's really bright in the desert, but in the lowish light here, it's, yeah. Okay. Let's try that. I mean, both of them go where they're pointed. That goes clang, and I swear I feel the bolt hit the metal, hit the receiver. The Sterling, you don't. We'll let Eric have his say on that as well. But I think we have advanced primary ignition in this one, and we don't have it in this one. That's to say that the bolt does not hit metal like that, and it ignites with the fixed firing pin, and then it's the gas pressure that turns the bolt from going forward to going backwards. And when you compare it to a Mark VI Sterling, which is closed bolt from the factory, you can feel the difference. But this, I'm feeling a metallic clang as it's firing, whereas this, you really don't. So I'm going to hand off to Eric.
All right, which one should I take first?
Well, shoot yours first.
Oh, okay. Let's shoot my baby.
Do you see what I mean with the feeling the metallic clang?
Yeah, so I'm really used to shooting this gun. It's one of my favorites. So I've put quite a few rounds through it, so I'm used to it. But now I'm gonna take the Sterling.
It's always interesting shooting things next to each other.
Yeah.
Much more than shooting them on different occasions.
And by the way, this is something that comes back often, but if you hold your Sterling like this, you're wrong.
Yeah.
All right? Okay.
It makes Baby Gun Jesus cry.
Okay, one point I will give the Sterling before even shooting it. This piece of metal that's folded over, it's a bit more comfortable than just putting your face on the Uzi stock. All right. Right. Yeah, I understand what you mean by you don't hear the clack when the receiver hits, because if I compare, can I dry fire?
Yeah.
Because yeah, you don't really get this end of travel clack compared to the Uzi. I'd say the recoil impulse is a bit softer, but not that much. Not that I would think it would make a great difference.
It might make a difference in full auto. They're very smooth in full auto.
Exactly, in full auto. The rear aperture, I think, is too wide.
Too wide?
Yeah, I think it... The Uzi, I think, is too small.
Yeah.
I think the Sterling is too wide.
Okay.
I think...
flip it to the other one then.
Yeah, I think a nice middle ground would be in between. Okay, that's better, actually.
I think that's too small.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. But that's my personal opinion. Yeah, I think this one would be... If I had this on the Uzi, I would be way happier.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a fun gun. I love shooting open bolt guns. It
is fun.
So always a treat.
Shall we go and grab the closed bolt, Sterling? Just
Yes,
for a
we
laugh?
should do that.
Okay, so there's some more Sterling ammo. And then we have the Mark VI closed bolt Sterling with a can on it. It's quite a bit heavier, and the can does act as a good muzzle brake. Now, ignoring the fact that the trigger on this is really heavy because I have a springs issue, and until I can get a genuine sear cradle spring, it's going to be like that.
I will not hold that against this gun.
It's my fault, it's not the gun's fault.
Not today, at least.
Until the real spring turns up, it be how it be. A safety, you have to safety
Oh,
off.
you need to remove the... Okay.
Yeah.
Can cock it. All right, I think I'm good. So, first 4 rounds, you're getting gassed by the suppressor. Way more bouncy. You hear like when it goes back into battery, it moves. You can feel it in the cheek. You don't with the open bolt. But that trigger is god awful. Also, you can eject with. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, I didn't know that. It'll eject
Yeah.
with the safety on, but won't
It
take a
ejected
rep.
with the safety on, but you can't cock it back.
Interesting accident, because I
All
don't
right.
believe they did that deliberately.
You learn something new every day. Yeah. You wanna have a
Swap you.
a go? Yeah.
So I mean, the lock time on this is far quicker, but they've had to do this funny business with a load of springs to stop it whacking the end cap. The thing is that with the open bolt one, you can safety off. You can have your face firmly on the end cap without a second thought. This, you'd be a bit more reticent. It's an attempt at a constant recoil, but it's not really constant because it's got that huge spring that stacks. But it's a lot more bouncy. It is more accurate because there's less lock time, and the lock time is a lot shorter. There's no movement of the system to talk of before it goes bang. Whereas in this, you've got the recoil of the whole thing due to the bolt moving forward before it even ignites, and you have to hang on to it. There's a bit of a technique to shooting these well. What I tend to find is that if I hand this off to someone who's not used to shooting open bolt, they will tend to shoot high and right, whereas if I hand this off, they shoot to more or less the same point of impact as me. Shall we go grab something totally modern?
Let's grab something that's not from 50 years ago.
Yeah. Okay, so here's my CMMG delayed blowback. Let's just take that off and turn that on. On a what we're starting to do KP15 lower. It weighs less than any of these.
Yeah.
And it has a Walker Defense Nero compensator on it, which passes the Ronseal test and does exactly what it says on the tin.
I bet I could carry 2 of these and it would be lighter than a loaded Uzi.
Yeah, probably. You shot one of these before?
Never. I've shot ARs, but never. What did you say? The mechanism?
CMMG, delayed blowback.
Delayed blowback. All right. So I never shot one of these, but that's an AR, so I should be okay. Okay. Yeah. So. All right, so no context on. Yeah, it's instant. It's light. It doesn't recoil. Like none. I would feel very comfortable taking this to a competition, compared to.
Oh yeah.
Any of these.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's got a match trigger. That's got a
This is
KE SLT1 in it.
This is amazing. Yeah. And we're clear.
Swap you.
All right.
This is my little baby. This, in comparison to those, is a point and click interface. Just the difference. I mean, okay, the AR platform dates from the late 50s. I mean, fundamentally, the first series production Colt 601s coming off the production line in 1960. They're no different to a skinny barrel iron sighted AR-15 that you'd get today, other than that they were full auto. Okay, this is polymer. This is 9mm Endomags. Vast improvement in tech there, but fundamentally, this is plus minus 1960 ideas tech. Well, okay, that wasn't a thing back then. It's not so far off. These things were adopted in 1953. Just thinking of the amount of time that's passed.
Same for the Uzi, it's the same time frame.
Yeah, so compare that to a 601. I mean, it's not the same roll, but yeah, and then compare a 601 to that. Where's I going with this? I'm not quite sure, other than I love this thing. You put the dot on where you want it to go, and as long as you don't mash the trigger, and you're not worrying about the ballistic curve, it's amazing. I love this thing. The only problem with it is that you have to, on this one at least, I find I have to replace the ejector spring about every 1500 rounds. Other than that, it is superb. And if I went to a major match with it, I'd just preemptively replace the thing and then not have to worry about it. So, I mean, the target's up there. We'll just bring this one back. They're 25 meters away. The ones in the head box were me at the end there. But they're all good. They're all good. Yeah. Should we wrap?
They hit where they should hit.
Yeah. So, anything we haven't already said? Or just to sum up.
Well, this one, I would be very confident giving it to first-time shooter. The trigger is a bit light, so they can get surprised by this.
It's 4.5 pounds, but it's very crisp, so it feels lighter than it is.
But the recoil is not gonna scare a beginner. This one, I would be confident also to give it to a beginner without the suppressor, because you get gassed out.
Yeah, and with a normal weight spring in it.
If it's your first time shooting, it's not a good experience. You get kind of, that's not great. The open bolt ones, if you've never shot them, you don't have experience with firearms, they're kind of tricky to get right. And also you can kind of, accidents can happen with them. I'm thinking particularly about the Uzi, that this can happen. I don't know how much it can happen with the Sterling, but if you have like a double feed, some people, they have the reflex of removing the mag, and it can go into battery. It never happened to me because I'm very careful with this, and I don't run magazines that are worn out or old, because that's what can happen. It happened to a friend of mine, but I managed to get in front of the problem, told him, nope, don't touch it. I usually say, if you have a problem with an open bolt and it's not your gun, just stop shooting. And
it's backwards. A lot of things are backwards. I mean, I did a whole video on this, but your immediate action, if anything happens that is untoward with an open bolt gun, cock it. Get the bolt back on the sear, because a lot of us are used to, with a closed bolt gun, remove the magazine before you do anything. Oh, there's a bit of a jam, drop the magazine. And sometimes when you do that, the jam will clear. If that happens with an open bolt, it's going to go bang. You don't want that. So your first reaction is just cock. And it hooks automatically, because that's the trigger that hooks it. It's the sear that hooks it. Newcomers need a lot of supervision with open bolt, because it is non-obvious. And in fact, the British Army training pamphlets on both, on the Thompson, the Sten and the Sterling, are a bit deficient. If you follow them to the letter, you'll have no problem, but they never explain why. It's just, this is how, like, do these drills, and if you follow those drills, you will never have a problem. But people go back to their training of what they're used to with other things, and will do things they're not supposed to, like leave bolts forward when they should be back and things, and remove mags when they should be cocking. And things like that. But anyway, I think that was nice. I will say that the Uzi's trigger surprised me. I think that trigger was better than this.
It's a pretty. It's still an open bolt trigger, so nothing to write home about, but it's pretty good.
but I wouldn't be trading in this
Yeah.
for that, particularly for shooting.
Well,
the
that's
one
good
comp
because
here.
I don't intend to trade my Uzi for a Sterling either.
Ah.
Yeah.
There's enough of them here. They're not very expensive.
No.
There's loads of them around, and getting them blocked at semi is easy. So, anyway, I think we've said all there is to say. Thank you so much to Coup du Tir for hosting us today. Thank you, Eric, for your participation and your help holding cameras and things.
Thanks.
And thank you so much to all our patrons and player supporters and supporters on the app who keep us ticking along financially. And if you'd like to consider becoming a patron or anything like that, all help is gratefully received, and we are indeed thankful for it. So, thanks so much, and see you again. Bye.
Bye.
Woo!